Why don't you just come up and we'll do it? How many are you?
So, I think you should sit in the...
Yeah, sure. I love this. This is called pure improvisation of something. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked to do a panel and an interview, and I know nobody here. So let's start by saying who is here. Let me know who you are and what you do.
Hello, I'm Miroslav Polca, and I'm the coordinator and founder of Digital Art for Climate, an initiative that's using NFTs to support sustainability and to support the United Nations related programs.
Perfect. Yourself?
Hi, I'm Frederic Morin-Bordelot from Canada. I'm on the board of Zero X Society, which is the first NFT physical gallery in Canada. Also, the co-founder of MR63, it's a social enterprise project where it reuse old 1966 metro trains to create a sustainable building in Montreal.
Right. In Montreal, is that right?
In Montreal,
Very
yeah.
good. Tu parles français alors?
Oui, bien sûr.
On va faire ça en français.
C'est parfait.
C'est beaucoup mieux pour
Aucun
moi.
problème.
And yourself?
Hi, I'm Tim Gariv, and I'm the main creator of the project, the charitygeese.com, and also a member of RAA, the Rare Art of Aid Foundation. We tokenize fine art and then put it for a charity cause.
All right. Okay, so...
Irina is joining us as well.
Oh, there's someone else. Hello.
Hello.
Surprising evening. Very surprising evening. So why don't we go to the right and we'll ask you who you are and what do you present? Because I don't know nobody in the panel. It just has to do this. So let us know who you are.
Yep. So I'm Irina Karagaur, head of Metaverse Growth and co-coordinator of Digital Art for Climate. We're powering this project with Unique Network as a blockchain and NFT solution. And we've run an art composition, and we began this initiative together with Miroslav back in June last year. So I've been following this initiative from day one.
All right. Thank you very much. Don't ask me to remember your names because I will not remember your names. So we'll go from the left to the right. Why don't we start from your end? Are you in philanthropy, sustainability? What is it exactly you do?
Charity is some kind of sustainability.
Sustainability, okay. Why did you get into sustainability in this space? What made you come in?
Yeah, because the modern agenda is sustainable and the blockchain is sustainable and decentralized. So we think here that the good causes, the charitable projects can become an essential part of the blockchain world because it's automatic and it's transparent.
All right. What you don't know is that I was the director of the Real Summit 30 years ago. So I know a couple of things about... Yeah. I'm a very old man. So why don't you tell us about, is it sustainability that you do exactly? Why did you get into that field? What made you get into that field, and how do you connect it to the blockchain environment?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm glad that Irina joined us because I promised myself to never be on the all-male panel, and I sustained that promise today. Really glad about that. I believe in sustainability from a very young age. Actually, sustainability is a word that came after, and I don't believe the blockchain can be sustainable. I think it has to be. It's an imperative because we are talking about the biggest paradigm shift in this century, and we all can agree that this is going to be the most revolutionary technology. But if we use that technology to do just as we did for the last millennia, we're not evolving as a society. We're just changing our tools. And that is absolutely not what we can afford today in a world of crisis that we're living on. We've just gone through one major global crisis. We're starting a new one with the war in Ukraine. And all of that is underlooming the environmental crisis that is happening. Inequality is at its peak in terms of the difference between the richest and the poor. And now we're creating tools to probably exacerbate this inequality. This makes no sense. We have to use those tools for good.
Very good. So, why sustainability?
So sustainability, it's somehow caring for the common good on the local and global level. And we have a problem on this front because the current market economy is somehow not functioning. Even blockchain solutions that are high energy consuming and on the other hand not giving anything back to society. If those that are, it's the market economy, it's systemic, immanent, it's not delivering public good on a global level. We have the United Nations system, we have Sustainable Development Goals, I have here the SDG wheel pin, and also Fred has it. But the UN is weak. These national governments-based structures, they are under-resourced, they are not committed enough. So we need a paradigm shift, we need new thinking, we need social energy, and we need the right incentive mechanisms. And here, NFTs, blockchain technology in general, open up a totally new action space. And we have, with our initiative, Digital Art for Climate, tried to harness this potential of blockchain and NFTs to engage creative community and providing there a possibility that they can contribute, it's attributable to them, and they have an income with this. With Unique Network, we are turning these artworks from an art competition that we've had, 207 submissions from 57 countries, really young artists from 10 years old up to 60, 70 from all over the world. This was something special. It provided energy to the processes at the United Nations. We've been in Glasgow where we've presented our collection. And as I said, it's also a way to mobilize resources for sustainable development action empowerment, climate action empowerment of young people. Because young people, if they say, I'm doing this or that, they don't receive funding. Nobody is paying for systemic solutions or so, but people are paying for NFTs. And so it's now our logic that, okay, let's provide attractive, very well curated and special NFTs for which people will pay, and then we will give money to the artists, to the young climate action activists, and also finance our institutional infrastructure.
Right. How about yourself? Why sustainability?
So there was, for some time we have this conversation in crypto, with minting NFTs, with the expansion of the industry and with the possibility to mint anything into a JPEG. We really saw an impact on Ethereum blockchain and the proof of work blockchains. And artists, when they did that at first, they weren't conscious of what they're doing. They didn't know how much energy that really implies to mint an NFT. So then when more research happened, when the community, right now we are discussing this on the level of the European Commission, and European Union is really concerned about using proof of work blockchains for all the transactions, because we are in the middle of transition to Web3 technology, to using blockchains for all sorts of operations. And NFT is a very powerful industry in itself, because pretty much any type of certification, any type of unique asset can be turned into an NFT. So it is supremely important to pay attention to what we do to all our actions. And Unique Network has been part of Polkadot ecosystem as the NFT chain, which is proof of stake, is by default sustainable. And the recent cryptocurrency research published a couple of months ago showed that among all the proof of stake blockchains, Polkadot proved to be the most efficient.
All right, thank you very much.
I'd like to add on that.
Yeah, please go ahead.
You mentioned that crypto used a lot of energy, but I don't know if people in the room or on the internet knows how much electricity. We're talking, for the 8th biggest blockchain, we're talking the equivalent of the output of Portugal, a whole country. This is a new technology, and we're talking about mass adoption. So we're maybe thinking about, like, okay, so we're creating a technology that could use as much electricity as a whole Europe or as a whole continent, there is a huge danger here because that has a huge carbon footprint, and we cannot afford to put more carbon in the atmosphere.
All right, so let me tell you something. Let's centrate the debate and the conversation. After my engineering school, I'm much older than all of you, right? I had a crazy day and I decided to go back into university and I did a master's in oceanography. So I'm an oceanographer as well. Work at Oregon State University, out on the oceanographic ships and everything. And then I went back to banking because I was going to be a very poor scientist. That's the reason why. Since I was a director at the Rio Summit, I've been an extremely critical person at what we're doing, mostly at the UN, because I spent 10 years at the UN after I did my oceanography studies, right? Mostly in Geneva. So I always say that since Rio we have done nothing, all right? So now you boys and girls, you're now saying NFTs, metaverse, blockchain, etc. So my question, I'll start from the left there. Why is it that you think that by using blockchain technologies, we're going to be able to do something about saving this planet? Can we start from the left? What makes a difference?
Yeah, first of all, it's redistribution. So the redistribution of goods. The second of all, the decentralization and decentralization in the means of like the world of future. Maybe I'm just guessing. Will be all like syndicates, like blockchain syndicates. I think there will be no like governments in a typical way, like we see that. Maybe they will be like also the crypto governments. So it's already the common good, and also the guys who are oriented on something that is really matters. For example, I don't know, the global warming.
Right.
So you can create a fund, you can run a blockchain, or you can create, for example, I don't know, the solar token.
All right.
So
okay.
yeah.
Got you. How about you? Why? What makes the difference?
I just want to make a shout out to my girl Céline from Montreal, who was playing in the background.
All right. Why not? Why not?
Well, I think the biggest tool that is available to us is fundraising. We've seen it; it's always in millions that we're counting. If community organization, if nonprofit can count on this power for fundraising, we can solve global issues in a week. So you've thought about redistribution. That's the first one. The second one is organization. We've seen DAOs going up and up, and you thought about those syndicates. I totally agree. Like, we're talking about recreating a culture inside those DAO, actually rewriting the rules of how we behave between each other. So this has a lot of very much big power to change the world.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
So what makes the difference?
Yes, so one thing is the potential of a blockchain to create digital assets of things, valuing things that with this standard monetary thinking could not be valued. If it's not money, it could not be valued, but now with blockchain you can create digital assets. And these digital assets can be attributed to digital identities, and this is a totally new universe of possibilities coming up. If we do this, then one thing is social smart contracts, but also, as both of you said, it's reorganizing society. And we are thinking, we are locked in this nation-state thinking, and it's not delivering good results, because national egoisms prevent countries from really being committed on the global level and things like this. But with blockchain technology, smart contracts, we can, and the DAOs, and so we can create our own communities of give and get.
Right.
And like-minded people can come together, organize, because very often in climate action, the individual is weak. You think you cannot change things. And then the third thing is we are planning here also with the government of UAE and public and private stakeholders here to set up a climate entrepreneurship ecosystem, also blockchain-based, about the data, about action and impact, and then everybody, even the smallest action, the smallest decision in the shop and so can be rewarded, and then this will be fun, gamification, but also income generation for everyone.
So basically what you're saying is that via blockchain technologies or products or services, we will be able to do better than the stupid governments that cannot do anything for us. Is that what you're saying, in a nutshell?
I'm presented here also as a global governance entrepreneur. And I think that this field of governance innovation is the biggest business opportunity and power opportunity in the world. If we do things right, that's the most needed resource of the world, functioning mechanisms of a global family working together. And if we are doing it right, there are no limits, and nation states are an idea from the 19th century.
All right, how about our lady in our panel? What's her opinion on that?
Well, community is central to blockchain ecosystems. And blockchain communities consist of very, very intelligent people who want to change the world, who are building new infrastructures, who are fed up of corporations and fed up of the things that the way they are today. And we all here are searching for solutions that will improve life of individuals, and the motto is less trust, more truth. And what we've seen with our competition, people actually really care about the bigger picture. They really care about sustainability, about social good. We received so much feedback, and this initiative had the most impact in the space. Because younger people, they are more conscious, they have a life to live, they want a better future for themselves. We're all kind of tired to live in the historical moment, right? There is a war, there is a crisis, there is Brexit. Every time something happens on a global level, that then affects local communities. So to me, it feels like globalization has become an outdated term. We want to be connected, but we want to keep and preserve local communities, our local environments. The 2 years of lockdown has really proven that we need to take care of the spaces we inhabit.
The power back to the people.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, so we just spoke about generalities in the area of sustainability and blockchain technologies. Let's go a bit deeper. Why don't we tell me or ask the public from the left about one project? Just pick one project that you think makes sense in the sustainability area and blockchain, area together. One that you like, one that makes sense to you, one that you think will make a difference. Is there anyone
any project?
Is there one that you can talk about, tell the people about it? If not, that's okay. Don't worry. If you think this general is fine.
It's hard to choose.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be very specific. Do you have one here on the left?
I want to talk about one that's more anecdotal, that's the best project right now in sustainability.
No, not the best. A project you like.
Yeah, I'll talk about one of the sponsors that's probably on the screen right now, Peace Coin.
All right.
So I met the two guys of Peace Coins on a block, on a stand over there, and they were telling me about their technology and how they're doing a DAO and what's their roadmap and all the things that every blockchain will tell you to sell you something. I was like, you're called Peace Coin. You can't tell me you're not doing anything about peace. And they're like, yeah, we're partnering with the Indian Army to have an impact on homeless people and also solving a climate crisis. I was like, why don't you put that forward? That's what I want to hear. That's the story. That's why your coin is different. This is why I will buy into it. Not because you have a roadmap. Everyone has a roadmap. So I thought that was a perfect example of people not putting their priority first. Their priority is purpose. And then the technology serves purpose, not the other way around.
Okay, very good. How about yourself? One
I
project.
have an answer, by the way.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I cannot face one project or choose one, but I can choose the field. The
Yeah.
DAO, of course.
That will
Of
be for
course.
you. All right. Project or field? Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Kinda.
Yeah, so I think that our Digital Art for Climate initiative is transformative. It is associated to the United Nations through our partnership with UN Habitat. So we are educating the UN system also about these potentials. Then we are educating crypto community about the importance of the climate topic. We've had in Milan, when there was from the Conference of Parties presidency for the UN Climate Change Conference, there was a youth event end of September. We've had our Digital Art for Climate event there, and we've minted a global angel NFT, 500 NFTs, and we made a form for people to request, and 7,000 requests were placed. So it's really a big interest. And the next level will be that we will build a blockchain for climate action educational toolkit, where we will bring into schools and into youth centers these tools from Digital Art for Climate, wallets, NFTs, metaverse, digital finance, and that will, in a gamified, in a playing way, kids will learn how NFTs can help them to take action and to be rewarded.
All right, very good. On the left, one project that you like?
I would like to mention Filter Finance. It's a project that is a DeFi bridge from decentralized finance to finance sustainable ESG infrastructure in the real world. So they are using NFTs as a scoring system to assess companies that want to build infrastructure. Maybe they are not established names, but they want to build solar farms, or they need some financing that they can lend some funds from the DeFi. And to me, this is really next step in the NFT space, because we began with avatars and we began with virtual worlds, and all this is great, but if we don't make real impact on the real economy, a lot of these NFTs and a lot of startups will just disappear over time. But if we really focus on bridging the metaverse to the real world, and that will have really tremendous impact and can bring.
Let me tell you something that's happening to us, which is very surprising, but it may have a bearing on what you're trying to say. One of our companies is a crypto asset management company. We manage assets for third-party clients because I'm an ex-banker. Now, in that context, and this is surprising to us, we've been asked by 3 different governments, not the people, the governments, to help these specific governments to become blockchain compatible, right? It happened to be that, we're mostly working with the central banks, that they are asking us to help them to become blockchain compatible. But one of these governments asked us about a month ago to write a law. They asked us to write a law for that government so that the entire government will become blockchain compatible. A little bit what's going on here in Dubai, right? Now, my question to all of you is the following. Do you think, because the conversation now centered into outside government projects, do you think that we, via the blockchain technologies, we can force governments to become more environmentally responsible? Do you think that's possible? Maybe from the right? Think that is possible or not?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it can help.
It can help? But
So you said, do you think we should force it?
I mean, if they come and say, can you help us to become blockchain compatible? Can we guide them into being more sustainable alike because we're using blockchain technologies in those governments? You see, because the whole thing here is about blockchain, make it more sustainable, right? That's what we're trying to say. So my question is, do you think that that could happen at the level of governments as well?
Well, I think it's happening. Definitely. People are voting more and more for Green's party. They are voting for leftist party. I don't say leftist party or rightist parties are better. Just saying some have policies that are more driven towards reducing inequality. I think the conversation, especially in the Gen Z, is absolutely there. Like TikTok is full of people driving super big change, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's Me Too. Like all those events happened before the pandemic. They are part of what I call the decades of crisis. We will live through a lot of decades of crisis because as a society we communicate more and we hence change. So because it's happening, it's unavoidable.
Right.
It's not a matter of how or when, it's a matter of are we on board? Because if we're not, we're dying.
Okay.
As a company, if you're not putting sustainable goals like as part of your core mandate, you will not survive in the next 5 years. I can guarantee that.
Yeah. Makes sense. How about you? You think that we can guide governments into it because we're using blockchain? They're using
I
blockchain
would say
technology?
that the governments, they are already committed. They have adopted the Sustainable Development Goals, they have signed the Paris Agreement about climate neutrality, but they are very poor in delivering, in implementation. And what the blockchain community can do is help the national governments to be more effective, or to be some kind of parallel mechanism and ecosystem that enables and rewards people taking the right decisions. And we have, for instance, the plan with the Unique Network to issue voluntary carbon footprint compensation crypto stamps, where people will pay, let's say, if you have 10 tons of annual carbon footprint, you buy 10 crypto stamps, 50 euros, and this with this NFTs, the key, you can then channel the resources to projects that are delivering climate action impact, and once we have verified and digitally measured impact, we go to the government and say, or with the citizens, saying them, here is the impact with my funding. It's public goods delivery. What's the task of the national government? And so now we want you that you recognize this in the tax bill, and that I have to pay less for my taxes. And this is public sector innovation, and as I said, we think this is the future of governance, and here we are helping the national governments to implement their climate neutrality goals, but we are also competing for this funding, because at a certain point we will be the ones who will receive some kind of global tax money.
All right, very good. The future of governance, there?
I agree with Miroslav on the point that governments already have programs in place. But what we need is the bottom-up approach. We need people to understand what actions need to be taken towards achieving these goals. We need to provide transparency with the blockchain. We need to provide accountability. And when every individual will be able to see that his action created a real impact, then we will be able to apply this, and we will be able to influence governments and large companies to move towards sustainable development.
Well. Yeah, got it. Okay, listen, I'm very conscious of time. It's 10:20. I'll ask you one last question. I'll ask you to be short and address yourself to the public here. You have a public that is listening to you. What is the message, short, that you have for them in this conversation? What's the important thing you would like to tell them? They're listening to you.
Okay, what I wanted to say, I think that the overhyped world of blockchain really needs to think about the people who are in need right now. For example, like in our project, the rare diseases, the orphan disease patients. And I think this is you have a lottery. You know, when you bought Bitcoin in 2010, you will be rich by now. And when you are born with a genetic disease, you are in the anti-lottery. So think, how can you help? How can you provide people through the art, through the NFT art, maybe some metaverse campaigns inside, or whatever. Just do it and create maybe decentralized autonomous networks for helping people, for aiding people, not only the nature. Yes, of course, sustainability is the big thing, but the philanthropy, which we are talking about, is also one big thing. You can help the world get better, really. Like a lot of power in the hands of not such a big crowd.
It's called capitalism.
That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
It's called capitalism. One short answer from you, message to the public.
I was reading an article on CoinDesk, I think it was, and it was talking about China that wants to do a one coin that passes through one bank and that everything has to go through that, and saying that's the worst regulation that can happen for the crypto space. I think pretty much everyone here would agree with that statement. So what could we do against that? Of course, we're not going to go lobby the Chinese government because that's impossible. So the other thing that we can do is show that we can do better with our technology. We have to self-regulate. There is no option on the table that is viable right now to fear the regulation than self-regulation. And this is what we do best. This is what the crypto community has shown to be doing best from the beginning. We've put in place DAO, we've put in place the best self-regulation things. We have to do it on every sustainable development goals of the UN.
Thank you very much. Short answer here.
So the world is in crisis, but there is hope if we change the perspective, that we don't wait for the UN, for national governments or so, but that we do our part. If I start, if you start looking at your carbon footprint, also the blockchains that you are using, it's your responsibility to look that you minimize the environmental footprint. And if we pool resources, if we bring resources together, reward action and impact, then there is hope. That's somehow the message.
All right. By you, one message to the public.
We live in an unprecedented moment of history when we have control of our assets, when we're building the Internet of Value, and we can reshape the way we govern things, the way we build our economy. And with the metaverse, with bridging it to the reality, we can fix a lot of problems in the world. So I would really, my call to action will be take responsibility for your own private keys of your wallet, and for the way you design things, you interact with people, for the choices you make. And we do have every single moment of our life to make a change, because it's a choice, and you are the one to make this choice.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think that the message is when we start changing ourselves, that we try to do something different in this world. That is a personal responsibility. I thank very much the panel for this very interesting discussion. Thank you all for it. All right, great. Well done.
Thank you as well. You've been staying here all day. A big round of applause for our speaker that's been there all day, who's very tired. Thank you very much.
I am tired, it's true. Thank you very much. Well done. Yeah, a pleasure. If you need any help, let me know. You know, I was the director of the Rio Summit, and I still do impact investment. All right, bye guys. Yeah, sure. All right, with pleasure. I'm based in Dubai. I moved from Switzerland to here 7 years ago. Yeah, I don't know, Katerina, are we done for the day? Is there the Salvador? That's it? Okay, very good. So thank you very much for being here until so late. You've been a great, resilient public. You've all been great. You should deserve a good night of sleep and a good dinner. We'll see you all at 3 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. Thank you very much.